What's going on, Jerome's? Happy Wednesday. It's time for another Vikings news dump. He sees you when you're poop. Oh, again. Yeah, producer Allie. Yeah. Anyways, but Vikings news dump is on. So first off, feel bad for Justin Timberlake, but he's turned into a meme because that's what the internet does. And also, I would just remember the Blair Walsh kick. And I remember it because I was watching it in our first house, and I had the game muted because not gonna lie, like maybe this is my fault, but I was getting ready to do the audio version of the show because back then it was just an audio show, and I thought it was in the bag. And that's probably your first mistake as a Vikings fan. Now, I had a lot of friends and family who were at the game, and so a lot of people were up on that open side of TCF, pointing towards University, where they're looking down almost parallel with the uprights. So it looked good for them. That's got to be just like an and I mean Paul Allen on the call too. He thought he was good for a hot second, but it is what it is. All right. So, but imagine spending all day in those freezing temperatures and losing a couple toes because of the weather, and also probably to your bookie because you bet the Vikings money line. I don't know, man. I don't know, but cry me a river that instantly turns into ice. There you go. Also, so training camp. This is kind of weird. Because it doesn't feel like, all right, so OTAs, mandatory minicamp, just wrapped up. And, teams generally do have a couple weeks of summer break. Everyone just gets away. Everyone's on vacay. Everyone's enjoying themselves, recharge the batteries, and get ready for a slog of a football season. But, I mean, some of these report dates are early, man. So, for rookies, so the Ravens rookies report on the 13th of July. That's less than a month away. It's kind of crazy. Now, rookies for the Bears and the Texans report on the 16th and 17th, respectively. Is that correct? No, 16th and 17th, respectively, because both of them play in the Hall of Fame game. Why is it so early for the Ravens? No, man. But for the Vikings, they will be at 7/21. So July 21st, that is this is a really good pod. So July 21st is a Sunday, the third week in July, and then veterans will follow up on the 23rd, which is a Tuesday, and then Saturday the 27th is the whole welcome back day, and then Monday the 29th will be the first full padded practice. So I mean, we're back at it. I mean, it's less than a month, and we're basically effectively back at football. So I mean, time goes by fast. I miss when teams would go away for camp, right? So, I mean, the Vikings, obviously going to Mankato was great. The Chiefs used to be in River Falls. I remember as a kid going to a couple of Vikings Chiefs inter-squad scrimmages. I mean, that was the Brock Lesnar fight year too. It was good. But the Chiefs are now in Missouri Western State University. There you go. And some of these are boring. Like Atlanta's at their facilities. Arizona's at their stadium, of course, because they're a poverty franchise. Ravens are at their facility. Buffalo goes to St. John's Fisher University, which is Rochester, which is right next to Buffalo. Carolina's at home. Chicago just as house. I thought Chicago used to go somewhere. I guess not. I mean, but some of these are Dallas, Marriott Residence Inn in Oxnard. So I like they're one of the few teams that go out of state. I mean, well, where would the Vikings go? I don't know, man. Or didn't a couple teams used to go to the Greenbrier, West Virginia? Does anyone do that anymore? Nah, it doesn't matter. But again, this is going to come up a lot sooner than you think because if you think about it, a couple weekends at the lake and then we're already back. And then before you know it, it's preseason. Before you know it's the season. Before you know it, the Vikings go 11-6. Boo! Shocking all the haters and the losers. Make a magical playoff run. J. McCarthy watches as Sam Darnold always said to Robardi. Plot twist. Had him in the first half, not gonna lie. Also, so HBO doing a bunch of things this year with Hard Knocks. Like there's 17 version of Hard Knocks. What did they do? The Giants off season. So sure. They got the Bears in training camp, and in season this year is going to be the AFC North. So the Ravens, the Bengals. I feel like the Bengals have been on a version of Hard Knocks like 17 times. The Browns and then the Steelers this year. So I don't know, but it's going to debut on December 3rd, and it's going to cover them on the latter part of the season. So you know that Mike Tomlin has just got to be like stoked about this. But I guess we'll see like the remnants of the competition between Russ and Justin Fields. Sure. The Bengals, if Joe Burrow can stay healthy. The Ravens, if they can actually get over the hump this year. And the Browns, I mean, Stefanski's my guy, man. But I don't know, is Deshaun Watson actually the answer? I mean, can he stay healthy? And even when he's on the field, he's been kind of booty. So I don't know, man. But would the NFC North been more interesting? Absolutely. Am I biased in this? Yes, but it is what it is. Also, so Ari Mary of My Sports Update put this up. The AP is asking voters to consider the following when voting for Comeback Player of the Year starting this upcoming season. Quote, the spirit of the AP Comeback Player of the Year award is to honor a player who has demonstrated resilience in the face of adversity by overcoming illness, physical injury, or other circumstances that led him to miss playing time the previous season, end quote. So basically what happened is that Jumpin' Joe Flacco came off the couch, led the Browns to a playoff run. Basically, he won Comeback Player of the Year over Damar Hamlin, and people got mad. Which, I mean, I understand it because Damar did come back. Respect. Frankly, Damar stepping back on the football field instantly should have won, right? But they need to separate this into most improved player and like inspirational award. They need to do that. Hell, they can. We said this at the time. They can name the award the Damar Hamlin Inspiration Award, where a player, like David Quisenberry, Vikings backup tackle, came back from cancer. Eric Berry came back from cancer. John Mechie III coming back from cancer. I mean, there's lots of great stories every single year, and it is really hard to differentiate between a guy coming back from a off the field illness or medical issue versus a guy coming back from a football injury or issue or coming back from just really being bad. All right, and it's like I want Sam Darnold to win Comeback Player of the Year, not because he overcame like illness or anything tragic like that, but because he was bad. That's what I want, man. In fact, he might win it 2 years in a row. That's how bad things were with the Jets and with the Panthers. I don't know, man. But like I said, they're basically just grooving it to say, like, hey, in future years, vote this a certain way. I mean, let people vote. Or, again, split off the award because all the other awards are very cut and dried. Offensive Player of the Year, Coach of the Year, blah, blah, blah. But, again, Comeback Player of the Year, it's pretty ambiguous. It's open to interpretation. So, have most improved player and then... How tilting would it be if you win Most Improved Player 2 years in a row? That's going to happen to Sam Darnold. And then also like the Damar Hamlin Inspiration Award. Do that. 33rd team. So voted by their Instagram followers, they put together the All NFC North offense, which 9 of the 11 players are Lions, first off. But what's amazing is that Amon St. Brown got 83% of the votes. Jefferson only got 79%. Which, again, is so stupid. So, A, it's another sign that people shouldn't be allowed to vote on anything. B, Instagram. C, the Lions fans have a lot of Instagram followers. That's it. I mean, because going through... So, Graham... How can you say with a straight face that Graham Glasnow is a better left guard than Elton Jenkins? Like, how is that possible? Right, and I'm not going to bat for many Packers, but I'll go to war for Elton Jenkins. He's a stud. The pride of Mississippi State. More cowbell. Also, Decker is fine. Would you take him over Christian Darrisaw? No. Absolutely wouldn't. No. So Darrisaw should be in. Elton Jenkins should be in. I'm fine with Ragnow. Zeitler's way too old, but then again, I don't know. Who else do you put in? Yeah. Penei Sewell is fine. Laporta, I get, but also that's definitely slanted towards the Lions of voting here. Should be Hawkinson, obviously, but Hawkinson injured. I get it. DJ Moore in that mix, sure. The only thing I like is that there's no Packers on here. Gibbs, I don't know. Like there isn't like a dominant running back in the division. Like even with Josh Jacobs in here, a couple years removed from being a rushing champ, there isn't just like that one guy. And also we didn't even talk about Jared Goff. Like I feel like on its surface, since the Vikings quarterback situation is unproven, I mean, it probably should go to Jordan Love. But I mean, how would Jared Goff get in? It's just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Again, no one should be allowed to vote on anything. This is how you get tugboats called Bodie McBodieface. Speaking of which, so biggest threats to break the NFL single season receiving record in 2024 via Bucky Brooks. So two of these things are not like the others. So Tyreek Hill, sure. I mean, Miami, even though McDaniel wants to be a running team, like they chuck the ball a lot, and respect to Tua, like, he gets it out there. Amon St. Brown, I just don't think the Lions have enough of a voluminous passing game where St. Brown would just get all of that work. I think that the ball would be spread out way too much. Jefferson at 3. Jefferson should be 1. Like, it really doesn't matter who the hell's throwing him the ball. And also, a lot of people think that, the Vikings are going to be bad, so there will be a lot of catch-up passing garbage time. Those stats still count, by the way. I mean, when Megatron set the single season record in 1964 in 2012, the Lions were like, 6-10? Something like that? I don't know. Pickens at 4. What about George? Like, who is George Pickens' publicist? Like, does George Pickens have the same agent as Bucky Brooks? Buck. I mean, what the hell, man? Like, I know the reasoning probably is like, Russell Wilson. Okay. Yeah. And then Amari Cooper at 5. I think Amari Cooper is a little bit too long in the tooth at this point. I just don't see it. I just don't see Deshaun Watson coming up and stepping up in a spot where he can be enough of a solid passer too that would help support Amari Cooper. I just don't see that. So, no. Like, I would say Jefferson, Tyreek. Depending what happens in Cincinnati, maybe Jamar. Sure. Maybe CD if the Cowboys are in like a lot of catch-up situations, and also Dak is trying to prove things in a contract year. But, I mean, Pickens and Cooper, no. St. Brown, I understand, but also no. Yeah. Speaking of no, so it's so weird. I feel like the NFL just randomly picks these travel pairings out of a hat. So Caleb Williams and Lamar Jackson are in Paris, meeting up with Wemby. I mean, Wemby's 7'4". He makes Lamar Jackson look like a toddler, which is kind of funny. But, hey, so Caleb Williams is in Paris, hasn't signed his contract. There's no rumors about him holding out because of a signing bonus. No problem. But, hey, Williams is hanging out in France while J.J. McCarthy is hanging out in Egan, the Paris of the South Metro. No big deal. Studying his playbook. Yeah, throwing bad first pitches too. Yeah, it happens. But like I said, the NFL just randomly picks these duos. So it's like, Micah Parsons and C.J. Stroud. There you go. Hey, Caleb Williams and Lamar Jackson. There you go. But Williams is in Paris attending a fashion show, and same fashion show. I thought I recognized the guy in the back. I thought it was like a football player. Nah, not so much. But again, it's weird. Also, you don't realize how large these NBA players are until like someone of a quantified size stands next to him. Like there's a great picture of J.J. Watt and Yao Ming, where it's just like, how? It's weird. Lastly, weird. So it wasn't really a Vikings heavy news dump, but it happens. But again, it's more things that make me laugh. Ari Mario, My Sports Update. The Falcons will induct owner Arthur Blank and former quarterback Matt Ryan into their Ring of Honor. So first off, I have a question. So these guys get in the Ring of Honor for winning 80% of a Super Bowl. Cool. Or, hey, Matt Ryan, you get in the Ring of Honor because you didn't blow a 33-point lead, halftime lead against the Vikings with us. It was with the Colts. Also, for Arthur Blank, how do you put yourself in the Ring of Honor? It's just like crowning yourself. I don't get it. Nah. Or wait, do you get in the Ring of Honor because you beat the tampering charges with Kirk Cousins? Like, is that what's going on? I don't know. It's crazy, man. But anyways, that's it. I don't know what we accomplished today, but I had fun. That's all that matters, right? You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skull, production value.